What up? Wade here. So today what I want to talk about is getting unstuck. Specifically, if you've ever said to yourself, I know what I need to do, I just can't get myself to do it. And maybe it's being stuck in procrastination mode, good being an enemy of great, fear of failure, worrying about what other people think of you. The excuses go on and on. But if you'd like to change that for good, then this video is for you. Because it doesn't matter if it's something small, like waking up each morning without hitting the snooze button, or you've got big dreams and want to make a dramatic shift in your life. Something like starting a new business, or finding friends that are on the same wavelength as you, or quitting your job and finding something that has more meaning, or asking that cute girl or guy that you keep seeing around town, asking them out. The steps to getting unstuck and into action mode are the same in every situation. Now, I know you might be thinking, but I've tried this stuff before, Wade. It didn't work. I read the self-help books, I watched all the motivational videos, I took the course, I did the homework, but at the end of the day, I just couldn't get myself to do it. Well, let me tell you, there's a reason those books and those courses have not worked up until now, and it's because most of the advice you've been getting is only focused on one small part of the process, the tactics. We're going to talk about it in a second here. But what good is a bulletproof business plan? What good are those tactics if you don't have the follow-through or you're afraid to take a risk? And what good is the perfect pickup line, a little social skill tactic, if you don't feel worthy of the person that you're talking to? And so if you want to truly transform your life, you've got to go beneath the surface. And that's why I call it the iceberg effect. Because tactics, they're just the tip of the iceberg. So if you're the type of person who feels like you're always playing catch up and expected to be further along in life than you are today, if you feel like you're saying way too often, oh, I'll get to that tomorrow, I'll just push it off till tomorrow, instead of doing what you need to be doing, if you feel like you're stuck in a rut or you feel like your life is good instead of making it great, then sit back, relax, and get ready, because what you're about to learn can truly transform every aspect of your life. And the best part is, it doesn't matter if you're in a career, unemployed, or you already own your own business. I've worked with teenagers all the way up to people in their 40s, men, women from all walks of life, and seen this exact same process work again and again. Okay, so what is the iceberg effect? Well, I'm about to show you, but first, I should probably introduce myself. My name is Wade Alters, and for the last 11 years, I've worked with thousands of clients in 43 countries around the world. Starting off at 24, young little buck there, teaching dating advice for men, and later built a successful marketing and consulting agency, leading to where I'm at today. And what Wade Alters Consulting is what I like to call lifestyle development. And it's a mixture of self-development, business consulting, and inner game transformation to help our clients achieve their ideal lifestyle in every area of their life. And what separates us from the rest is that we don't do some armchair theorizing where we just spew out watered down advice that we got in a book. No, this framework comes directly from me working with my private coaching practice, what I call the Chosen 20, where I have 20 handpicked clients that I work with. And currently I have guys from all over the world. I have world-class medical doctors in Canada, British Special Forces agents, A-list singing coaches, and other life coaches and consultants, where I work with them hand in hand for years at a time, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, and helping them reach the next level in their lives and their businesses. Okay, so enough about me. What is the iceberg effect? Well, let me show you. And so this is basically how it works out. Let's put a little line here. And what we have on the left-hand side here, this is you. So we have you, and you're unhappy. Not totally like unhappy, we'll say, but if you're watching this video, so obviously things aren't as good as they could be. And so what we're going to talk about is how to get you on the other side, over here. This is you happy. We'll put a little crown on there even, and everything like that. So when you're over here, this is like, okay, you don't have the job that you want, or maybe you're not getting paid as much as you like, or things just, it's taking up too much of your time instead of giving you the free time so you can have hobbies and go hang out with your friends. Or maybe your friends is the issue and you don't have the social circle that you want, or you don't have the dating life that you want, or maybe it's your health. Over here, this is the success that you want to have. This is you being happy. This is you having everything that you want, the passion, the fulfillment, the energy, the freedom. You enjoy your career. It's meaningful. It gives you significance. You're paid well, and you're reaching your full potential. That's you over here. It's all good. But here's the problem. This damn boulder in the middle here. This is what's holding you back from reaching it. There's just like a block going on there. And so you know what you need to do. You know what this is. You know who this person is. But you can't get yourself to do it. And why is that? It's because this mountain right here, it's actually much larger than you think. And so it's actually, like I said, it goes through this full process here. And so what's going on here, what you need to look at is that most self-development advice, so all the courses that you checked out, all the books that you read, all those take action YouTube videos that you've seen, and you're confused about why isn't this working, is because it all focuses up here. What this is the tactics. This is where all that stuff focuses. But what about all this? Everything going on down here, that's really where the transformation happens. This is the stuff like, oh, here's the script to talk to your client, to get the sale. Here's that pickup line to get the girl. Wake up earlier. Don't eat that bagel. Go to the gym. It's all up here. That's great to know. But that's the problem, is that consciously you know what you need to do, but your subconscious mind is holding you back. And it's true that some self-development advice attempts to help you out down here, but it mostly focuses on how to help you understand the subconscious mind. Let me explain what an abundance mindset is. Let me explain why we have negative self-talk and why it's bad. Great, but how do you stop it? It's just more tactics. It's still keeping things at the top of the iceberg. So that's really what the whole issue comes down to. You consciously know what you need to do, but your subconscious mind keeps holding you back. Here's how the story usually goes. You start searching the web, you're not satisfied with your current job, when all of a sudden you come across a new business idea. Maybe it's becoming a social media manager, or launching a product online, or drop shipping, or you find a consulting agency and say, hey, I could do this too. You start getting excited. You think, wow, here's my chance to finally live the good life. Just imagine all the free time you'd have, all the freedom, no more office job, no more 9-to-5 grind. All you're gonna need is a few couple paying clients, right? And you think, yeah, I can have a pretty nice income here. I mean, you don't need to become a millionaire overnight or anything like that, but hey, working a few days on the beach in Thailand, that's not too much to ask for, is it? So you study up, maybe you buy a course, you create a business plan, you watch a few videos, YouTube, you get all pumped up, motivated, but then when it comes time to finding that first paying client, oh shit, now things just got real. And that's when the doubt starts kicking in. That's when there's that fear of the unknown. And the questions start piling up. What if I do something wrong? What if they realize I've never had a client before and I don't know what the hell I'm doing? Can I get sued for any of this? And what happens, you start imagining internally yourself going bankrupt, moving back in with your parents. You're a failure. Everyone's talking behind your back saying, who does he even think he is? And whoa, that's too scary. Maybe this wasn't a good idea after all. More like the subconscious self-sabotage at its finest. Another example, this time let's use something in the social world. You read those books on self-help, maybe you hear Jim Rohn talk about you're the average of your 5 closest friends. You look around at your current peer group and you say, you know what, I think it's time for an upgrade. And you know what, while I'm at it, might as well end that dry spell in my dating life. So bound and determined, you start reading some books on body language, social skills, maybe even join a Toastmasters club or you take an improv class. But when the time comes to actually take action, to actually go to that networking event, to actually talk to that girl or guy that you see at the grocery store, you freeze. The anxiety kicks in and your mind starts racing through all sorts of worst case scenarios. What if she slaps me in the face? What if I get a drink spilled on me? What if somebody laughs at my business card? And instead of taking action, you do nothing. Another opportunity gone, beating yourself up inside, wondering if things are ever going to change. And the thing is, every day we make these tiny little decisions that either move us towards success or subtly take your power away. And the smaller the decision is, the more insidious. Those tiny little micro decisions to skip the gym today because you're just feeling a little bit tired. Or cutting out that meditation session just this one time because you're a little bit too busy. Or eating just a little bit of fast food because I don't have time to make that healthy meal right now. And it doesn't seem like a big deal in the moment, but 1 month, 6 months, 3 years later, those tiny decisions pile up into being more stuck, more unhealthy, and more frustrated than ever. So I don't care what level of success you have today. If you're not doing all those little decisions, if you're letting them sneak by, you're subtly giving your power away and holding yourself back from reaching your true potential. So what's the common thread between all these different scenarios? Consciously, you know what you need to do, but your subconscious mind is holding you back. You see the girl, you find your potential mentor's email address, you look at your paycheck and you want more, but when it comes time to actually act, your subconscious gets in the way. It starts rationalizing, it starts making excuses, it starts imagining worst case scenarios, and it's no wonder you're not achieving everything that you want. Which leads to an even more important question. If you're not in control of your own mind, who is? And the thing is, you were never given a manual for how to use your mind until now. This is the manual. This is what you need to create the life you want. This is what you should have been taught in school, but you didn't. Knowing the Pythagorean theorem, That's up here, whatever the hell that shit is. Reading a book on body language isn't going to help you out down here. That's more of the tactics. That's more up here. You know what you already know what you need to do. And so what we're going to do instead is help with this. Harness your subconscious mind, the power of the subconscious mind. And lucky for you, I've discovered a step-by-step process that anyone can use to do just that. Getting your subconscious mind to work for you instead of against you. From procrastination to motivation. From afraid to fearless. From lazy to light-speed success. Transforming your identity, your personality, and building a winner-take-all attitude to push through any challenge that gets in your way. So what is this process, you ask? Well, let's get into it. So in 2002, experts at UC Berkeley discovered approximately 45% of our daily activities were repeated in the exact same location nearly every single day. So think about that. Nearly half of what you do every single day, you do the exact same way every single time. And a great example of this is the next time you brush your teeth. Think about this. Which side do you start on? Left side, right side, inside, outside? You do it the same way every single time. And if you try to do it differently, it feels kind of weird. So think about me the next time you're brushing your teeth. It's the same with how you put your pants on. Which leg do you put in first? It's all autopilot. There's no conscious thought. But there's another level to this as well. When it comes to your emotions, your internal dialogue, your beliefs, your fears, they're also all completely habitual. And when it comes to the subconscious mind, it's nearly all on autopilot. And because what happens here is your subconscious mind compared to the conscious mind only has so much mental bandwidth. And you can't control everything at once. You can't control your heart rate, your breathing, the hundreds of muscles that are coordinating when you walk or when you're sitting in a chair. So what we do is we package up all these complex patterns into singular habitual responses. And what you need to realize is us humans, well, I'm here to tell you, sorry, we're not really a special snowflake. You're not incredibly intelligent the way that we think we all are. We're actually closer to dogs. Let me explain. So I'm sure you've heard of Pavlov's dogs, right? The psychologist who would bring out a plate with a steak on it, give it to his dog and ring a little bell. And sooner or later, all you'd have to do was ring the bell and the dog would salivate even when there was no food around. And the thing is we do the exact same thing. It's just trigger, response, trigger, response. Time to brush your teeth, execute the pattern. Time to put your pants on, execute the pattern. You see that cute girl on the bus? Get nervous. It's Sunday night, the Sunday dread kicks in, and on and on and on. And it's these unconscious triggers and habits that dictate every subconscious decision that you make, every belief, every thought, leading to success or failure. No matter what your conscious mind wants you to do, the subconscious is in control. And to take things a level deeper, most of these habits were learned at a very early age. Your dad sees you stacking some blocks when you're 3 years old. He gives you a hug, and now you're an overachiever. You're competitive, and you're a perfectionist, and constantly criticizing yourself for not being further along than you are in life. Or you're 2, and you say hi to some stranger at the grocery store. Your mom yells at you, pulls you away, and says, hey, don't talk to strangers. And here you sit today, a closet introvert, getting stuck in spectator mode whenever high-status people are around you. But you can't let these early experiences dictate your life today. You are not an introvert. You are not a bad salesperson. You are not someone who procrastinates. All these are patterns that you need to outgrow and get rid of and start getting on the fast track to success and taking massive action. Want to know how? Here's how you do it. So this is actually probably the most empowering part of the entire process. Because if you've ever gotten good at anything, you already know what it takes to get rid of those unwanted habits and learn new, more productive ones. Whether it's playing the guitar, mastering a video game, or getting rid of your self-talk, the negative self-talk, each one goes through the same process, from unconscious incompetence to unconscious competence. And I'm sure almost everyone watching this video has heard of this concept before, but I guarantee you've never heard of it like this. First, let me explain the different steps of the process. It starts off with unconscious incompetence. This is when you don't know that you suck. It's not even in your awareness. Let's say, for example, this is like playing badminton. You don't even know what badminton is, so you don't even know that you suck at it. That's not the best example, but you get the idea. Then there's consciously incompetent. This is where you know you suck, but there's nothing you can do about it. Interesting. Not really knowing what you need to do, consciously knowing what you need to do, but not being able to do that. Oh, I hope you get the hint there of what's going on here. But of course, there's another level, and that's consciously competent. This is where you're able to do what you want, but it takes conscious effort. And then finally, we have unconscious competence. And this is where you got to get to, where you're automatically doing the things that you want. And you see all your habits, all those subconscious patterns that were holding you back are just unconscious habits that you learned early in life that are saving mental bandwidth, but once you make the unconscious conscious, once you become aware of the triggers, aware of the pattern, aware of the habits, and move from unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence, it automatically starts losing its power over you. And here's an example. Have you ever had a time where you're on video, kind of like what I'm doing right now here, and you notice yourself when you look at the recording and you see all these like ums and ahs, and you're saying right at the end of sentences and things like that? You weren't even aware of it beforehand, but once you see that video, it starts feeling, it's basically like nails on the chalkboard. You can't even hear yourself doing it. When you do it internally, you're like, oh my God. That's where you're at that space of consciously incompetent, kind of moving out of unconscious incompetent into the conscious realm. And then what happens is, all of a sudden you're not even thinking and it completely goes away. And that's unconscious competence. You just de-automated a pattern, and you can do this with any pattern, any behavior, any thought, any limiting belief, any self-sabotage, self-doubt. All that crap can be thrown in the dumpster just as easily as learning how to ride a bike or playing Mario Kart. But there's a darker side to all this as well. If you don't make the change, if you don't outgrow those old patterns, they get worse. They build momentum. More and more they start feeling like they're a part of who you are. And that's when you really lose control. That's when you give your power away. And they become these unconscious chains that permanently hold you from living the life that you want. And the longer you sit on the sidelines, the harder it is to get in the game. The longer you let procrastination control you, the less likely you are to ever take action. And the longer you settle for good instead of great, for average instead of excellent, your odds of success fall off a literal cliff, which is why you need to get started today. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed today's video, but I'm sure the question in your mind is, well, that's great, but how do I make the unconscious conscious? If I don't even know what's there or what's supposed to be there, how am I supposed to become aware of this pattern and get rid of it? Well, this video is actually part 1 of a 3-part training. In part 2, I'm going to show you exactly how to uncover those unconscious habits, patterns, and beliefs that were previously holding you back. And I'm also going to show you how to harness this, the subconscious mind, everything down here, to shatter those old beliefs and patterns for good, mastering your internal dialogue, transforming your identity, and building a newfound sense of confidence, clarity, and certainty. You'll also learn how to build an extreme sense of urgency and gun-to-the-head motivation to take what you want and follow through on your goals no matter what gets in your way. And the best part is, it's a process that you can apply to any aspect of your life, no matter how big or how small, how scary or how simple. But to get video 2 and video 3 in this mini class, you need to sign up at 3ibaseline.com. I'll put the link down below so you can click on it now. It's absolutely free, and I know you're going to love it because if you made it this far in the video, this is obviously something that's important to you, which is why I'd highly suggest signing up now. So click on the link below, and I'll see you on the other side. As always, enjoy.